I've done this talk in various forms for a number of organizations, including Fraser Institute student seminars, and the feedback, some of the students said they thought it was cool, which made me wonder about their ability to recognize that quality. It is only fair to warn you that learning to think like an economist is not the surest path in the world to becoming cool. I actually started doing this as an undergraduate, and I would like to say that it didn't make me unpopular. I managed that myself. But since you are here fairly early on a Saturday, obviously cool isn't a big issue in your lives, and therefore we can proceed. Though it is probably also fair to say that if you learn to think like an economist, in addition to I don't know if you can read the blurry text. Apparently the technology makes our lives easier here. You get to say things like Pareto optimality as though you really knew what they were. The other thing about economics that you need to be warned about is that it tends not to be an easy path to happiness. One of the problems with economics is that it tends to tell you why ideas that sound superficially attractive aren't going to work. And that also means that you'll find the newspaper even more irritating than you already do when you apply economic thinking to the analysis that's often smuggled into the news stories by my colleagues. The plus is, what that would say there, if these little things were floating up in the right place, you actually get to be right about public affairs. This is the big plus about economics. It is a tool for understanding the world that yields accurate insight and usable predictions, which is not all that common in the world of ideas. What I'm here to talk about today, in fact, is one big idea that has been around for a long time and that I think has shown itself to be a great deal more reliable than a lot of other ideas that might, on the surface, appear more attractive. For instance. Now, I'm afraid we're going to have to, first remarks. I got a very good piece of advice once about writing books. Someone told me, start with a 40-word summary, then a 400-word summary, and only then dare to start writing the actual manuscript. And so I prepared a 40-word summary of what I'm trying to convey in this talk. And it goes like this. Hey, they're working. Economics is a theory about how the world is, not how it ought to be. And that's very important because a lot of the criticism of economic analysis relies upon the notion that what you're saying isn't very appealing. It doesn't sound very happy. And the answer from someone who's doing economic analysis is, I'm sorry to have given you this warning, but if the warning is valid, you won't be happier in the long run if you don't get it. It's like my excuse for bad news in newspapers. You know, the Paleolithic Times, the news story, saber-toothed tiger outside village, is very important. It's not very encouraging. The story, no saber-toothed tiger outside village, doesn't make it above the fold because, with any luck, that's routine. It's a more encouraging story, but if there is a saber-toothed tiger, you have to tell people. So economics is a theory about how the world is, not how it ought to be. It says that people have preferences. People have things they want, but they can't have everything they want because of scarcity. That means they have to make choices. And that means incentives matter. And woe betide policymakers who act as if they didn't. And there's my 40-word summary of what economics is all about.